Hello there.
My buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy. Wherever I go, he goes. My buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy. I'll teach him everything that I know. My buddy and me, like the climb up a tree. My buddy and me, we're the best friends that could be. My buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy and me.
My Buddy from Play School.
George Lucas, next to you, who is the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth?
Steve, that Star Wars boy. If I can do something and Steve says, oh, wow, then I won. Something that people can enjoy. Just somebody who's got a fetish with making the world to be the way he wants it to be. Sort of narcissistic.
Have you heard about Steve, that Star Wars boy's new YouTube channel?
I think it's a very important part of society, and I'm going to create a world where people can fly.
Are you ready to go find a grill, BB? We are going to have the best eatery in the entire flea market. Oh, look, it's Toto. He thinks his binocs are better than mine.
My binocs are better.
Well, I'll have to teach him a lesson, won't I? You can't stop me from getting my new grill. You can't shoot me. I'm going to put Umkar out of business with my Hatburger recipe.
You do not cover your face. You are not Mandalorian.
Catch me outside, how about that?
What does your dream girl look like? Does she have long dangly laku? Are you all alone tonight? Well, let's turn up the temperature. It's about to get hot in here. Call now to talk to hot Twi'lek girls. We are waiting for you.
Only 99 keshels per space minute. Adults only.
I was a terror since the public school era. Bathroom passes, cutting classes, squeezing asses. Smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13. A chubby nigga on the scene. I used to have the tray deuce and the deuce in my bubble goose. Now I got the Mac in my knapsack, lounging black, smoking sacks up in accent sidekicks with my sidekicks, rocking fly kicks. Honeys wanna chat, but all we wanna know is where the party at. And can I bring my gat? If not, I hope I don't get shot. Better throw my vest on my chest, cause niggas is a mess. It don't take nothing but frontin' for me to start something. Bugging and bucking at niggas like I was duck hunting. Dumbing out just me and my crew, cause all we wanna do is bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit. It's the N-O-G-O-R-I-O-U-S. You just lay down slow. It's the N-O-G-O-R-I-O-U-S. You just lay down slow. Bitches in the back looking righteous in a tight dress. I think I might just hit her with a little Biggie 101. How to tote a gun and have fun with Jamaican rum conversation. Blunts in rotation. My man Big Jock got the Glock in his waist and we're smoking, drinking. Got the hooker thinking, if money smell bad, then this nigga big is stinking. Is it my charm? I got the hookers eating out my palm. She grabbed my arm and said, let's leave calm. I'm hitting skins again. Rolled up another blunt for the Heineken. Niggas start to rope out. A kid got choked out, blows were stoned, and a fucking fight broke out. Can't we just all get along so I can put hickeys on the chest like little Sean? Get a pissy drunk off a Dom Perignon, and it's on, and I'm gone. That's that party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit. It's the N-O-G-O-R-I-O-U-S. You just lay down slow. It's the N-O-G-O-R-I-O-U-S. You just lay down slow.
That's much better than the one I had in the movie.
What's up, guys?
What up?
Hello
Oh, you're
there.
muted, Steve.
Fuck up the beginning of every show. What's up, everybody? Abe can't be here with us tonight, but he's here in the chat with us. And he's here
filling in,
spirit.
trying to cover for Abe tonight, guys. So hope you guys stuck with me.
He's down hard with the monkeypox.
Actually, Matthew, if he's going to stay, we're going to add him to our full-time roster here. And we're going to just, since Ahsoka's over, we're just going to like move on to some different Star Wars shows that we've seen until the next new one comes out that we can enjoy or ridicule or whatever. And we're going to throw in, you know, some fun stuff here and there. Mo Biggs, we've made something special for you. We got a couple other things. And I guess let's dive in, get right to it. Say hello to our chat. We've got our good friend Corey.
What's up, Corey? Good to see you, man.
Don't spend all your money on that Twi'lek hotline.
Did you actually check to see if that's actually a number or not?
I don't know. I just threw it
I hope
on.
it is. I hope it's a real number.
Call it live and see what happens.
Yeah, we could do that. Felix sent us a video, but I'm not going to show it tonight because it's just too soon after our little conflict we had with Mo Biggs. It's got a little Weeberly in it, Felix. So we're going to hold that back because Mo still needs to cool off a little bit from his last exposure. But we'll show that soon. Let's see what else we got here. Aldous, our good friend Aldous from the gutter.
Good to see you, Aldous. Thanks for showing up.
Neff, our good friend Neff, creator of Mavericks, the
Hey,
Global
Neff.
Frequency Studios over there. They do shows about comics and other things. Kiwi Skirt, good to see ya.
Yeah, she's becoming a regular.
Stay tuned. I'm going to have something special for you.
I see Whack-Ass down there in the chat, too.
Oh, good. We got Ollie. Ollie's here.
So, Ollie, we were discussing the 656 in the back room. Is that a Texas area code that the comic company's named after, or what's the deal with the 656? Please fill us in.
Oh, and look up Cryptidnals. That's their book. If you haven't looked it up, it's really good.
They got all kinds of wild stuff going on over there, Gooey. I got the Gooey zine. It's got a little sample of all their different artists, and there's some cool stuff. Our friend Rich, who's part of that crew, does a collaboration with Matthew down here, Roach Balls. I'm sure you guys all know all this stuff already.
He says it's CD Juarez area code, homie.
Where's
There
that?
you go.
Juarez, Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Just across the river from El Paso.
Past the old El Paso.
we were just talking about it because there's a couple rap songs that I've heard that in.
DOC, right?
The DOC, yeah, among one of them. I know he's from Dallas, so when I heard him say that, I was wondering if that's what that was. Because we're not hip to all the slang because I'm white and I live in Ohio. All right, who else we got here? We said we got Mo. Yeah. Oh, look, D-Wag's here.
Hey, D-Wag, send them fucking Grokins out. Send them fucking ginger root hand pins my way, man.
D-Wag does a voice. We're going to premiere our very first episode of our awesome TV series that we've been working on, Star Wars Droids, The Quest for Crack Cocaine, starring Zaid Studios, Jeremy over there, Crazy Mad, Arrogant Ape, myself. D-Wag does some cameo appearances. And
I haven't seen D-Wag in a minute. Last time I was watching them shorts, some chick with a booty cutie was handing him Doritos with her butt cheeks or something.
He's racking up some subs over there. Like
yeah.
900 or something now.
Up to like 900 and so, yeah. He's
Oh, and the girl freaking out about the breakup call, like yelling at her boyfriend, like, I will see you in hell. And then he cut it to like she's talking to him on the other line. That shit's funny, man. check him out for sure.
No,
buddy-
Mo.
go
No,
ahead.
no, Mo. You did
What's-
not get a recast. We just haven't got that far. We're waiting on.
Ape's got he's having problems with his voice. He's been sick and stuff, but he assures us he's going to be back in top form here real soon. So, did I get everyone? Whack-ass.
Michael T.
Michael T. What's up? Oh, I got something cool to show you, Michael T. And all you guys. Like, what do you guys want to do? You want to jump into the topics first, or show some comics that we're making, or what? What do you guys want to do?
Oh, we're talking about Tales
of the Jedi tonight.
Tales of the Jedi tonight, right?
Yep.
Steve put me onto these cartoons. They're like little Clone Wars supplementals or whatever that kind of help fill stuff out. And I think they were sold to me like, yo, Count Dooku's your favorite Star Wars character. You should check these episodes out. There's a lot of Dooku backstory going on in them. And a lot of Ahsoka backstory too. So yeah, they were a fun watch.
Yeah, they're kind of divided up into 3 15-minute episodes, if that.
They're like different. Like one's 3 and one's 12 and one's 5. You know, what I mean, they're all short.
Ahsoka is 3 of them, and then Dooku is like 3 of them.
Keep talking about it for a second, guys. I'm gonna try to find these pictures.
No, and the opening episode, the first one we start off with is Ahsoka as a baby, right? She gets lost in the woods or something and ends up with some saber-toothed tiger and kind of calms the tiger with the Force, and it becomes like really apparent that even at this like young infant state in her life that she is extremely gifted with the Force and needs to be turned over to the Jedi Academy for training.
What am I doing? Okay.
Oh, hey, BK. Nice to see you, man. Couple things in this episode, which I was when they did this before the Ahsoka show, I was a little on the Ahsoka burnout, so I was not like too hype on the Ahsoka stuff, but the mother takes her out. She's a newborn baby, and she takes her out on a hunt. And then the mother shoots Bambi's mom. And
I can't remember how to share pictures.
You had it up.
Keep talking if you guys want. My bad. Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, she's like the talk of the town when she's born.
They're singing and celebrating and shit.
Hooting and hollering.
And this old lady like knows, like she's got Force sensitivity. She's not a Jedi or something, but she knows. She's like, this baby is special. And so they go out to fight this cat. Hold on, let's throw this thing.
Mo says baby Ahsoka almost starved to death because she had difficulty being breastfed with her arms crossed.
That's probably true. And they always look weird when they don't have that head thing. The headband, whatever. This one's kind of just like, it shows her she's a baby. They go out and it just kind of like spotlights that she's got Force powers even when she's a baby.
Well,
she's kind of strong, and
the saber-toothed tiger attacks after her mother shoots her quarry or whatever, and just kind of drags Ahsoka off to the woods, and then the mother shoots her, but it eventually gets knocked out by the tiger, and the tiger drags her off and kind of like is about to eat her, and then Ahsoka touches its nose, and then it flashes to the eye shot where the tiger like suddenly like sees in the mind or whatever.
And then it brings her home.
And then, yeah, the next shot is her riding on the back to the village. where she gets dropped off, and that's like the end of the episode.
And that kind of shows, like, in the episode 1 when Qui-Gon finds Anakin, right? And he's like, he's too old to be trained, and he still seems like he's a pretty young kid. It's like, no, they mean like they really take him young to train him, like from almost, 1 or 2 or whatever, before they can even really talk. It seems like.
Yeah, as soon as they find him and like up to a certain age, 4 or 5 or I don't know the exact age, but yeah, they like. The thing that's weird about this episode is that Dave Filoni is like his favorite Jedi is Plo Koon, and he's the one who found Ahsoka, and they did this whole origin story of baby Ahsoka, and they didn't even show the part where Plo Koon shows up and finds her and discovers her and takes her to the Jedi. So I guess if they do season 2, they might show that one or whatever. It just seems obvious for Dave Filoni.
I'm pretty sure that season 2 is on the docks.
I think that's officially confirmed. Oh, this is later on. Okay, there she is, a baby again.
Oh, Plo Koon's the one with like the ninja mask and the big dark eyes.
Yeah.
And no, Kiwi Skirt, this is not Visions, and I do not suggest watching Visions.
We watched it in the back room one time, part of it, and it was stupid. Like, I won't mince words. It was just complete trash.
Visions are a bunch
crap.
of weed stuff. Yeah. I mean, if you're into that, then that's a thing, but I wouldn't bring it up here or you'll get 300 seconds.
Padawan Liam Neeson looks funny here. Like the likeness of him. I was like, oh shit, that's Qui-Gon. Like, looking at him. It's like worried, furrowed brow. It's like
he looks odd here to me too. Like, I don't see Qui-Gon in this, even young Qui-Gon.
It looks like a Mad Magazine Liam Neeson or something, like kind of like a parody or some shit.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, this is episode 2 called Justice. And it starts out with Dooku and young Qui-Gon are on a desolate planet looking for the senator's son. And the townspeople tell of corruption from the senator and are taken to the son. It turns out the entire town is the one who abducted the son.
There's people behind him right there.
That's when they like find the blaster marks like on the trees or whatever and know that they...
No, that's the next one.
Okay.
That's the one with Mace Windu. This one, there's a conflict between the townspeople and the governor or the senator. What is he, crazy? I forget. He's the
senator.
He's the senator of their planet, and this is like the beginnings of Count Dooku's disillusionment with the Jedi, and Qui-Gon sitting there understanding the same thing, that the Senate is corrupt and the Jedi dogma is weighing them down and flawed. Yeah. And like we were talking, like Dooku's one of the most interesting of all the characters to me because he's evil. Like Darth Vader, Vader and Maul are pretty much evil, and they know they're evil. And Palpatine, like, he's evil and he tries to be evil. It's like Dooku's evil, but he thinks he's good, and he never lies. When you listen to all the dialogue of everything he says, he's always telling the truth, but it's twisted, to his perspective, and he justifies everything that he does because he's morally superior and morally correct.
I feel like Dooku is a man trapped between two worlds that he doesn't necessarily agree with. He's on the Jedi, he knows that like the Jedi side is flawed in its, Senate love, I guess.
Like, I believe he was offering Kenobi an authentic chance to join him when he had him imprisoned on Geonosis, like when he's talking to him in episode 2, when he's telling him about the corruption of the Jedi Order and stuff. I think he seriously wanted Kenobi to join him there,
That's what, like, that scene is like the beginning of it. He uses the truth as his weapon, though. He's very persuasive. But you can see him here, like he's like, just like, look at the look on his face. He knows what is right and what is wrong, and he is not going to tolerate. Look at this town. The governor's left them all, or the senator's left them all. He's made deals to where he's rich and they're all starving, and they've had enough. And the senator's son, who's been here in this town, has seen it, and he's even come to realize his dad's, messed up.
Yeah, he doesn't even feel like the son doesn't even feel like he's a prisoner. He's witnessed all this, just desolation of their community and cannot believe that his dad has done this to his own people and whatnot. So he totally sides and with the townsfolk here, even though he's a prisoner.
Picture blocking my chat, so I've been ignoring these guys. Hold on. But yeah, this show's pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen it or whatever.
They're talking about when Maul killed Qui-Gon or whatever. It's like they get to that later. In the other episode.
It basically takes place before episode 1, between episode 1 and 2. There's part during episode 1, and it's origin stories of all these Jedi characters. And I think what they're going to do is, like, if they do another season, I think they're going to pick different characters. Like this one was about Dooku and Ahsoka, and I think the next one will be about different ones, possibly.
Yeah, I could totally see us getting 3 little shorts on Plo Koon, because that's like a Baloney favorite.
Yeah, the voice actor on Dooku is pretty good. We got Aerith in the house. No. There's nothing to review, Aerith. You see it? It's awesome. End of story. Well, I mean, it's got the days on it, the months. It's a picture of me.
I think he's talking about Anna's calendar.
Oh, that Star Wars girl calendar. Oh, no one cares about that. Where's my calendar? Hold on. It's on the thumbnail. You guys have already seen it.
You got an ad for it we could play?
No. It's hold on. We can do this. It's kind of early in the show. Hold on. We'll do this. It's on there. It feels kind of. Okay. Is it playing?
No.
Okay, hold on.
It's on your face.
That's it playing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here, we'll start it up.
Hey, Grogu.
Okay.
I became the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth. No. It's because I like Star Wars since I was a little kid. Did you know that me and you are the same age?
They're 50 years old.
Steve is a world-famous Star Wars collector and toy dealer. You may remember him from Trader's World Flea Market, or seen rare items from his collection in the famous book Tom Art's Guide to Worldwide Star Wars Collectibles, second edition. Here he is, Steve, that Star Wars boy, the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth.
Hello, and welcome to another exciting and informative episode of Ask Steve, that Star Wars boy, starring me, Steve, that Star Wars boy, the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth, where real Star Wars fans like you ask me, Steve, that Star Wars boy, the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth, real Star Wars questions. Now today, our friend Kiwi Skirt submitted a question on the official Ask Steve, that Star Wars boy telephone hotline answering machine.
Dear Steve, how does Jason have green hair? What is the Steventific explanation for this?
Thanks for asking, Kiwi. That is the question on all of our minds, isn't it? Well, you see, it is quite simple, really. Differences in skin and hair color are principally genetically determined and are due to variation in the amount, type, and packaging of melanin polymers produced by melanocytes secreted into keratinocytes. Pigmentary phenotype is genetically complex and at a physiological level complicated. Genes determining a number of rare Mendelian disorders of pigmentation, such as albinism, have been identified, but only one gene, the melanocortin 1 receptor, or MCR1, has so far been identified to explain variation in the normal population, such as that leading to green hair, freckling, and force sensitivity. I hope that answers your question and helps to further enrich your knowledge and enjoyment of the Star Wars franchise. Thank you for joining me for this very important episode of Ask Steve That Star Wars Boy, starring me, Steve, that Star Wars boy, the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth. See you next time. Send your real Star Wars questions to me, Steve, that Star Wars boy. And if I answer your question live on the show, you will receive a free 2024 Steve That Star Wars Boy calendar PDF file.
Do 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 Steve. Do 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 do. Why don't you just go be with your best friend Steve?
Most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth. That doesn't prove it.
I hope that answers your question, because I still have questions after that.
That's not officially a Star Wars question, Harris. So I don't know if I'm the expert on that one. She put on them tight jeans and got burned. Yeah, Darren wants to know what the jeans have to do with it. They're like jeans have a lot to do with reproduction.
Yeah, like if you wear Jinko jeans, you're never going to get laid and never going to reproduce.
Jinko jeans prevent reproduction.
I got connections, Michael T. I know everybody. Everybody wants to get on my show. They submit music and videos, all kinds of stuff. What are we talking about here? That part seemed kind of boring without Ape to guide us through. Let's try. Let's see if we can do better on the next episode.
We didn't even get to his dark side turn.
Well, that's in a later episode, right? Like that's the one where he finally hides the fucking location of the shit, and then fights what's her name, Yaddle or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
that's not the third one.
But
second one, he goes.
Well, the senator shows up with an army.
Oh, we haven't even finished.
They take him out. Yeah, they take him out, right? And Dooku walks up on the senator and starts force choking him, and Qui-Gon, with his quick thinking, frees the son and says, "Go save your father." And they pretty much show that
why isn't this working?
Dooku's about to choke him out, final breath choke him out, and then the son comes up and is like, "No, stop," and kind of reverts him. So that's the first tell of his dark side turn.
I lost my pictures. My bad. This is going awesome. What do you think about Count Dooku, Fowler? You like him, don't you?
I mean, he's one of my favorite characters. I started liking him a lot more after that Christopher Lloyd episode of Andor, where he's like a separatist, Dooku loyalist, and the whole plot is him fucking around with the shit, and then at the end he does that big speech, where he's like, "Oh, Count Dooku knew Dooku was always on," and shit. It's like, all right, look into him more, and then
Dooku's like a freedom fighter.
Leading into Ahsoka, my timeline gets flooded with all those fucking learn all 7 stances of lightsaber dueling and all the fucking all the shit, and who's the best lightsaber duelist in the universe type countdowns and all that shit. And after a while I started realizing in those videos Dooku was getting pretty high rankings. It's yeah, man, he kind of holds his own in lightsaber duels too. So I don't know, just as I'm getting older, I've become more and more of a fan of fucking Count Dooku as a character in the universe, man. Pretty fucking dope.
Trying to find the picture. I found my pictures now.
Ape says, Dooku later says, "You're a much wiser man than I, Qui-Gon," mirroring what Qui-Gon would say to Obi and Obi to Annie. Kind of lays out the lineage.
That mirroring or whatever they do in Star Wars all the time.
Yeah, it rhymes. Is this it? Did I get it? I don't know. The way I'm doing this, it covers up my chat.
Yeah, CG Liam Neeson makes me giggle all the time. It's like a Snapchat icon or something, the way he looks.
Yeah, he looks weird. Dooku looks kind of weird too.
It's young. They're young yet. Me and Fowler were talking about this earlier, how young Dooku looks and how quickly he aged after he turned to the dark side.
Well, because he looks pretty much like that still in the other episode, and Palpatine comes up to him and is like, "Yo, like he's like, I heard you had your fucking apprentice kill my apprentice on fucking Naboo," and he's he's mad at Palpatine. I'm like, oh damn! So Dooku had a full head of colored hair, back then.
Like this
during
point
episode
here,
1.
There's 10 years before episode 2 and between episode 1 and 2. So there, this is before episode 1. So this is, and look, Qui-Gon's like what? How old would you guess him to be here? He's still a Padawan, so he's like early 20s.
He's Obi-Wan's age when Obi-Wan was in episode 1, I would assume.
Which is like 25 or something.
Well, he doesn't have his braid, so I mean, I don't know if that matters.
I don't know. Maybe he's a knight now and they're just like doing a mission together or something. But anyway, he's young, so he's like 15, 20 years younger probably than what we see him. And then plus another 10 years. So like this point, Dooku should look young. But when we get into that other episode, it's only 10 years and they didn't change, until we actually see him on screen. And they didn't like age him up from this one at all, I don't think.
No, I think we were talking about the dark side ages you like a presidency.
Yeah,
like,
in the video games and stuff, like Knights of the Old Republic, like the more evil you would get, like it would like decay your skin and you get like varicose veins and stuff or whatever. So,
well, I think Ape was telling me in the chat, like utilizing Force Lightning ages you. And I guess you got to get zapped with Force Lightning to learn how to use it first or some shit. So,
Mo Biggs asked, "Do you have to watch the Ahsoka episodes to understand the Dooku episodes?"
Not at all. No.
They're totally separate entities.
They're highly supplemental to the prequel movies, though.
Like, I'm a Maul guy, like through and through, but like, these episodes on Dooku really do like further his story, and they are really good.
Dooku's just like an interesting character, and so is Qui-Gon, because they go through these same experiences and they have the same opinions, and Qui-Gon, stays true and Dooku goes evil, but Dooku's sitting there telling everyone like, I wish Qui-Gon was here. And it's like, I think he honestly believes that, like everything he says. Like, look at this. We might have even convinced Mo Biggs.
These Dooku episodes are literally some of the best stuff that Disney has done.
I would say, like, I'm a big fan of the Clone Wars and everything already, and I like the prequels a lot. And this like hit on specific things that I wanted to know about and that I wanted to see. And I was totally interested in these Count Dooku and Qui-Gon parts. The Ahsoka parts are just like, I mean, they're cool or whatever.
Yeah,
but like these get kind of deep into the characters, where those are kind of more surface level things. Until the final one with Ahsoka was pretty good. I liked it. But let's see what Mo Biggs says. First of all, Mo Biggs, we need to address. I did not make that video. That one with the weed crap on it. You know what I'm talking about. That was an unfortunate set of coincidences that led to that. I was telling you about this awesome video we made that we're going to show later. And then they came on and showed that stuff and said someone made this. The implication, I did not have anything to do with that video. I swear to God. I swear to God, I did not fake that. I swear to freaking God. Yes, I think so. I think he was. I think he was. I don't know why he would do that to me. But I swear to God, I had nothing to do with it.
I
But we're
totally
gonna make
missed this. What was this? A gutter thing?
it. Yeah. They all just played some weed crap, and Mo thought I did it, and he timed me out. I don't blame him for doing that. Like, weed, like weed crap.
Yeah, but Mo, these are really some. All three of these episodes flesh out Dooku's dark side turn, like from the beginning till up until episode 2 of the prequels. They're good.
And I
I'm
really
like,
think a lot of cool stuff gets under the radar of Kathleen Kennedy when they put it in the cartoons. And so, a lot of people think the cartoons are like, cartoons, these are for kids or whatever. And to some degree, yeah. But there's like some of the coolest stuff ever in Star Wars is in these animated series. Bad Batch, Clone Wars, Tales of the Jedi. Rebels has to a lesser extent, but
Ape says Dweeb, that Star Wars
oh,
baka.
I don't even know what the fuck's a baka.
Like a Chewbacca, I think.
ST I thought it was some kind of weeb shit. I don't know. Oh, anyway, guys, remember when it said Steve, that Star Wars boy, world famous Star Wars dealer. Check out what I found this week.
And big in yourself.
Oh yeah. Check this guy out, guys. Oh, that's the wrong one.
We're live. We're live.
I know it. Doesn't mean
Steve, that Star Wars boomer.
Check this out. We went and did this job working for this guy doing drywall. And he asked us, could we help him move some boxes out of his basement? He said, anything in them we can have. We took them home. There was some other cool stuff on top. We said, oh, this looks cool. We threw the box in the car. We got home. Check this out. Not this one.
So those are Imperial Guards.
These are the Emperor's Royal Guard. Look, Kenner baggies, the original.
Now, tell the story behind these toys. Why are they in these plastic baggies?
A lot of the action figures would be in these baggies if they came in some other way than on the card. If they came in like a play set or through the mail. Some of them were like you collected the proof of purchases.
So that would have been from what, the Death Star window play set is what they came in, or what is the Royal Guards?
No. These didn't come out like, some of them came in 3-packs and stuff that you could buy, but the majority of these figures would be in bags sent to Kenner in the factory, and I guess they would remove them and put them on the cards, like the.
Oh, so that's pre being carded
possibly,
at the factory.
But a lot of them got out, and if in the old days, like Kenner had really awesome customer service too. So if you like wrote them a letter, I'm a little kid, I lost my spear. A lot of times they'd just send you a whole new figure in a bag like this.
Right.
But the values of these sealed, like, okay, this figure is probably worth in this sealed baggie probably 4 or 5 times more than normal. I was looking them up.
You got about 7 of those.
I got 7 of these.
Right.
Of these.
You were showing me your haul online.
Just of this guy.
Yeah, just of
they're running about $200, $250 a piece in the sealed Kenner bag. This guy's not quite as he's not quite as expensive, but these are probably worth $50 a piece at least, maybe $100.
Now that's the droid that brands.
This is the torture droid. Yeah, I got 8
brands
of these
their
guys,
feet, right? When they're getting checked into Jabba's palace.
And check out, I got 3 of them. A couple of them have holes in the bag, but look at this. Fucking 12-back Darth Vader in a sealed Kenner logo bag.
Damn, cape and everything in.
It's like $400 or $500 easy right there. We found these. Me and my friend Mike are splitting them. My dad gave me a car. and I got this car, this extra car, and I
Right.
just traded my friend Mike my old car for his half of these figures. So half of these.
So it's a significant find, collector's
Oh
wise.
fuck yeah! Look at this. Best piece in the Indiana
Oh
Jones.
shit! I had that toy when I was a kid, man, with his
It's
bull ass legs. I
It's
remember
a
those
tape
fucking.
bag, but look at that tape. It's like that tape has not been opened. Now, if you look at this figure, look at this little. Can you even see it on here? He's got this itty bitty little pistol. Can you see it? Right here.
Yep.
Okay. If you take this figure and you sell them on eBay loose without this pistol and this whip, you might get like $50. You put this pistol with him, and all of a sudden, it goes up to like $300.
Whoa.
So the more valuable piece is not Indiana Jones. Most valuable piece is this little. Look how easy that is to lose or swallow. Like who the hell has that? You know what I'm saying? Unless it's still in the package. You can't even see it in there. It's so small.
Isn't the whip worth like good money?
Yeah, the
too?
whip's worth some money too. Look at this. I got the ATST drivers. I got two of him. I got.
He came with the AT-AT, the Scout Walker, right?
No, he was sold separately, but he drives the Scout Walker.
Okay. Okay.
And I got General Veers. He's called the AT-AT Commander. Oh, vintage. I got Nikto. Ah, fuck. He's worth He's worth $80. Might as well drop him, chip him up. Nikto. He's one of
He works
Jabba's
the skiff,
yeah.
the skiff
Actually, I
over
think he was
Jabba's
driving it,
dunes,
yeah.
right? He works on the execution barge or whatever, right?
Yep. Is that all? I got an IG-88, but the bag came open, so it's not sealed anymore. Where'd he go? There it is. Now, if this was sealed, you can tell he bust open. If this was sealed, he'd probably be $150, $200. But since the bag's open, look, his gun felt probably $50 to $80, maybe. I'm kind of out of date because I haven't.
Just take your lighter and seal it.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Nah, I don't think I'll do that.
Like a pack of smokes.
Oh yeah, look, I got 3 troopers too. Very clean, nice bags. Look at that.
Are those from Jedi or from Star Wars?
It's hard to tell though. Looking with my magnify, I can't see very good anymore. But you can tell.
It'll say the date on their thighs or whatever, won't it?
And you can also tell a lot of them have variations where some will say made in Hong Kong and some will say made in Taiwan, and you can sometimes see slight color variations among those. I'm a little out of date. I haven't really been into it as much. I sold off the bulk in my collection like 2010, 2012. So when we found these, I was like, these are good.
Was that when you closed the shop you had? Okay.
Which ones are you looking for? The ones made in Hong Kong or the ones made in Taiwan?
It depends. Everyone's different. Like one of the most valuable figures of all in foreign countries, they came in these packages called tri-logos, and it would have 3 languages. Okay. Now, one of the most common figures is General Medine from Return of the Jedi. You know, the guy who talks about we stole an Imperial shuttle and whatever. Okay. Super common. Back in the days, worth like $10, $15, $8, something like that loose. Maybe $25 if you found him in the package. Okay. But if you found him on the tri-logo package, even back in the 90s, he was going for like $3,500 just because this package is so rare.
Right.
So it's like, it gets like very specific. You know, you can pull out a certain figure. This guy's worth $30, but this version of him is worth $400. You know, or whatever. But what was I talking about? I forget.
Hey, Mike.
Michael T. Crix
No, Mike
Medine,
Boyce.
yes.
Mike
Mike, what's up?
Welcome. We're just going over Steve's haul this week when he was working a
Yeah,
job.
Mike,
He got a
Mike, he's
free
one.
box
He's
of
one.
bagged Star Wars
He's the one who found
figures.
him with me. Yeah, he actually got him.
Oh,
He knew
he's the
guy.
one
He
who
talked to
traded
the guy. Yeah,
his
yeah.
hat. Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, Mike's happy. He got a free car out of it.
Pretty much, yeah. He was asking me, he said, are we good? You know, like, is that worth the car? Like, for real? And I was like, dude, I think I might owe you money. Like, Like these are worth more than my car, I think.
You got the Emperor too, didn't you?
Yeah, the Emperor's only about a $50 figure in the bag because he's very common in the bag because he was a mail away. They like the packages would come. They have this little circle on the back, proof of purchase, and you cut it out. I might have tried to imitate it. I don't know. No, I didn't. But like on the back of the package,
No, I remember him. I ordered Anakin Skywalker like that.
Anakin
The old man one, not the.
The first one was Boba Fett, and they advertised it on the back that he would have a rocket firing backpack. So when you cut him out and ordered it, that's what you're expecting.
Mhm.
And then it came like some kid shot his eye out with some similar toy, and there was guidelines or something. So instead of the little spring-loaded rocket, they just welded the.
It's glued in there now.
Yeah, it doesn't come out. So there were prototypes of those, and those are like legendary. Like I've held them in my hand. A couple other dealers in Cincinnati had come across them before back in the 90s. But the last one that I know sold, they sent it to get graded or whatever, and it went over $100,000.
Yeah,
so,
that's the holy grail of Star Wars collectors.
The number one holy grail among Star Wars figures. There's other very, very rare things like the double telescoping lightsabers. Like you see the Darth Vader.
Oh, that would come out of their arm, but kind of telescope, right?
Like you see here, I've got this loose one. You see, it comes out of their arm. They're trying to
lift it
hold
up,
a little bit. You're below your camera. There you go.
See, it comes in their arm, and they're like they like their lightsaber. It pulls out. You see, they got this little extra tip on it that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Watch it pull out. The original ones, the way they're going to be this pulled out even more to make it longer. You can see it's kind of not the right proportion. This piece would pull out again, and it was so fragile and they broke that they just said, "Oh, do it like this." So some of them exist, and some of them even made it onto packages, and so those are like among the next top level. And then you probably go to the droids series prototypes of the unproduced, the Ewoks and droids. Series
From the
2
Saturday morning cartoons.
From the cartoons got canceled, and there's prototypes that were floating around. The characters we're going to show you a little bit here later on in one of our shows.
Michael T says the Sebastian Shaw Anakin was the prize of his brother's collection, still is as far as he knows.
Yeah, blue snaggletooth. I remember hearing about that.
The blue snaggletooth was like, of the common figures, of the rare figures, it was still attainable. Around, it would go for $100, $150 to get one. And they would that was one of the figures that only came in a bag like this because it came from the Sears catalog, and it came with Greedo, Hammerhead, Walrus Man, Ponda Baba that they call him now, and then the blue snaggletooth. Right. And the one that came out on the package was red, and the reason they had the blue one is because they designed them from black and white photos back in like 1975 or whatever.
Okay.
And they later, we don't like this one, we're going to change it. But they'd already made a bunch of them. Like I've run into some of these same problems in my tag. Like I got a couple, I got like 70 figures over here we made and decided not to use. And now we're going to use them. Same kind of story. But recently saw one on eBay, graded. It's in the bag, and then they slabbed it inside the bag, and it went for like $4,800. So, yeah. Like
now
I had hundreds.
Blue snaggletooth taller than the red.
Taller, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The only thing really, actually, in the Clone Wars season 5, they show blue snaggletooth.
Oh, nice. Easter
when Darth Maul and Savage Press, they run through this space station, they kill everybody. It's a bunch of droids mainly. They kill them and they steal the money. There's like a safe with all these credits. Later on, Obi-Wan and Adi Gallia come, and they're like, this dude's walking them around. He's telling me, he's like, they killed him and they killed him, and he's like, light up your lightsabers for me, and they're blue. And he's like, yeah, theirs were red, and that's the blue snaggletooth. What we got here? Instead of black, don't like it. Well, like, yeah, I don't know. Like early on in the production design, they probably didn't have a lot of photos.
Michael T says white TIE fighters went up. Ape says yellow sabered Luke.
Yeah, the yellow sabered Luke, very similar. And he's got the extra tip that pulls out here. If it's the telescope, I mean, it's worth a bunch. If it's like this, then, and why did Luke have yellow? Obi-Wan had blue, Vader had red, and I guess they just, needed a yellow one. or they designed it off the black and white pictures way before production. Is that it on these? Oh yeah, here's the Emperor. Here's the Emperor. The Emperor, I was saying, isn't as rare in the bag because he was widely available as one of the proof of purchase free mailway figures. It went Boba Fett, Bosk the Bounty Hunter was the second one, and then 4 LLM. They called him Zupkus. They had him switched.
Bosk is the lizard, right?
Bosk is the lizard. And then 9 Num, Admiral Ekbar, and Return, and the Emperor were the ones from Return of the Jedi that you could get like that. So those are kind of worth more than some of the other ones when they are packaged, because they didn't, they expect, like half our people already have that one, so they would short pack them in the cases on a lot of those characters. Where were we at? Let's move back. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it was just a good little distraction. I figured the fans are watching for Star Wars content, and that was like a huge score. I'd never seen them in those Kenner bags like that. It was really cool to see.
Back in the day, they would just, they'd be. It's like if you had the choice to buy one like this, or to buy one loose right next to it, they were, like the loose one's $20. This one's like 35, or you know what I mean? They weren't that much more, unless you had, like a blue snaggletooth, or like I remember the Luke Jedi Knight. There was variations where some had blue lightsabers and some had green. And if you got the one with blue, it was like a cool $75, like that. Someone will grab it by the end of the day every fucking time. Like the guy could have gone higher, But they weren't like that special. They're just kind of cool. Like, oh, these are a little bit better than loose, And now I looked, like when we found them, I was like, these are good. These are like worth like 20, 50 a piece, maybe more. And I went and looked them up. I'm like, holy shit, these things are worth like 5 to 10 times more than they were just like 10 years ago.
Did the spike happen after COVID? Or?
I don't know. I haven't been following it. But I'm not looking them up on eBay. Like, what is that guy selling them for? Like, I'm looking them up sold. What did these actually sell for? Confirmed. And like.
Mo Big says.
Some of them you look up and there's not another one on all of eBay. Like, what's that fucker worth?
Mo Big says the ladies watching are now drier than Tatooine.
Yeah, cool.
And
Mo, the Force is female, bro.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Like, I don't have any rays.
And Aerith says, good thing I'm a moisture farmer, Mo.
That was more interesting than these shows, though, probably. Maybe. Let's put this. What do we got here?
Yeah, I found it super interesting. Mo, on the other hand, not so much.
I think we're on episode 3. What happens in episode 3?
Episode 3, titled Choices, is the Mace and Dooku episode before Mace is a master on the council.
There it is. Hold on. Boomer in it. There we go.
But it says Mace and Dooku, they show two sides to their faith of the Jedi. Mace is totally by the book, by the rules, and Dooku is more of a living Force follower. And
like Obi-Wan.
Yeah, like Qui-Gon, very, very much. Like, I listen to the will of the Force. I don't listen to the dogma. Basically saying, I listen to God, not the church. And Qui-Gon follows through that very, very, very much. And then Mace, the exact, opposite of that. He's all about the rules.
They go on this investigation together. And in the investigation, there's there's more of a rhyme here, between Anakin and Obi-Wan, where Obi-Wan says we got this mission, and Anakin is like, well, fuck, this is episode 2, right? And he's like, well, an investigation is implied. Dooku is the investigation is implied, and Mace is more of the we're going to do this by the book and only do what we're asked to do.
Yeah,
And
he's like, don't do more than we are mandated. It's not our place. Just follow orders and do what they told us, and let's get this done and get back home.
hello, Mr. Yonofui.
What's
Hey,
up,
what's up?
Yonafui? Good to see you, man.
But yeah, there's an investigation of corrupt senator. I forget what this one is even really about.
This is the one where they get jumped in the forest, right? And the
Yes.
fucking detect the fucking ambush by the blaster marks all in there already or whatever.
Yeah, they're
on the tree. I don't know if it's like a blaster mark or like a lightsaber cut or there's something on the tree.
Yeah, this is one where Jedi Master Khatri is murdered. And yeah, she's murdered, and they go to investigate and bring the body back. And Mace is all about just bringing the body back, and Dooku wants to check out the scene, so they lure him out there.
And he says, Mace says, we will do what the council tells us. And Dooku says, if it was you in her position, wouldn't you want us to find the killer? And he says, I would want you to obey the council. And Dooku like shakes his head like, fuck him, what a cuck.
And it comes to turn out at the very end, well, the people who they end up shooting the senator who brought them out there, and they're like, why'd you kill him? And they killed him because fucking, I don't even remember why they killed him.
He was corrupt, and they wanted to
no, he was scared, I believe.
Well, the original one that they killed, I think, was corrupt or something. And
yeah, the original one in episode 1 was corrupt.
Yeah. No. In this one here, the Jedi came to investigate him, and they took her out into the woods and murdered her, and that's what these two are investigating. But all of the government people, they were all in on it. They're the one who killed the Jedi because she was investigating their corruption. That's what Dooku uncovers, right?
Yeah, Dooku was made aware of the Jedi's shortcomings, and you can see his turn. The burial of Khatri, and Dooku asks Mace about the politics of Mace's council seat. So this is when Mace was offered the council seat, and
he knew the whole time that he was in consideration for that seat, and that Dooku was one of his main things, and he didn't tell Dooku that. And he kind of kept it to himself. Not that Dooku even really probably gives a shit, but would be a much better, he'd be a much better voice on the council and actually affect change, where Windu just goes along with it all. If the Jedi was smart, they would have put Dooku on there at this point probably, and instead of Mace, but he just follows orders, so he's their man. And
even though Dooku
kind of been scheming though through this whole mission, like I'm gonna get the council, like he's been plotting against him to get the spot.
And even Dooku, it was unbeknownst to Dooku that the seat had already been decided before they even went on this mission. And at the very end of this episode, he asked him, he's like, "Did you know about this?" And he was like, "I was made aware right before we left." But then Mace says, "I will talk to you. I will talk in favor of you to the council about this," because he did not go by the mission protocol or whatever.
And Dooku's like, "Oh, thanks." Like, you can just tell by the end of this episode, he's just like, this whole thing is fucked. And then when it gets to the next episode, hold on, that's not the right thing I was trying to do.
Episode 4, The Sith Lord. And this
is the cool one, right? Where he races Camino from the records.
Yeah, this is full Dooku turn.
This is the part that as soon as I saw it, I knew what was going to happen, but was super excited to see it. Like, oh, this is it.
It starts out with Dooku in the archives to access deleting Camino from the records.
Which
that you
is
see
cool
in it.
because, like, in the investigation in Clone Wars, or Obi-Wan's, going to meet Dax, doing this shit, and it's like, oh, this was erased from the system. It's like it was a cool payoff to finally see, like, who the fuck erased that shit from the system.
Yeah, and they show him with the Cypher Diaz tag erasing it and whatnot so that it doesn't trace back to him and whatnot.
And he's into something already. And this is, at this point in the episode, it's simultaneous with episode 1, where Qui-Gon Jinn has just come back from Tatooine and told the council that there's a Sith Lord, and they don't believe him, and there's a rumor going around the temple that, oh, there might be a Sith Lord. And he's already doing this before Qui-Gon gets killed.
Yeah.
But then after this, later in the episode, it time jumps,
yeah.
Qui-Gon's been killed, and that, like, breaks him. He's just like, I'm done, I quit.
Yeah. Jocasta tells him about Qui-Gon's meeting with Maul, and then Dooku talks with Yaddle and Qui-Gon about Maul and how Sith Lords are not to be messed with, to be careful and everything. And then it time jumps a little bit, and you find out Dooku's standing outside staring at a tree saying...
it's the tree. This is the Force tree that grows in the temple.
Yeah, that Qui-Gon
like a big deal.
the tree
Yeah.
because he was from Coruscant, and this tree is the only thing that he knew of besides brick and mortar. Because Coruscant is a giant city. And
Yaddle has this conversation with him, and he says all his, concerns and regrets, and she's kind of like feeling it, like something's up with him.
yeah, she actually says to him, he says, well, all I can do is put this in the past. And she's like, you can do this? And he's like, I have no choice. And then Yaddle follows him because they're going to the planet.
Yeah, you see here, there's already like some kind of plot going on with Sidious, Dooku, and Sifo Dyas making the clone army and finding Jango Fett and getting all the pieces in place. But it's not until right here, like Dooku's been working, I think, for the Confederacy, but I don't think it's till right here where he actually
he doesn't.
He's
going to
be. This
be.
is when Yaddle's like pleading with him, like, "Yo, it doesn't matter what the fuck you've done before. Team up with me right the fuck now, and we'll kill this Sith Lord. And like, that's all that matters. It's fine." And he's like, "No, you've seen too much. It's time to fucking get cut down, bitch." And
the Emperor's like, "Kill her," and he does. Yeah. Pretty much, they fight.
And he drops a door on her, like a huge metal door.
Yeah, that part was kind of fucked up. She would have totally been like squashed, probably. But
well, you find out that she doesn't die from this, and she force lifts it up, and then
smash her past Corey Yaddle.
It's Yaddle Baby Yoda's mom? You guys think, or what?
I mean, is Maruk the Star Killer? I mean, we've got two clues.
Right.
There's a male Yoda, and there's a female Yoda, and there are no other Yodas, and now there's a baby. So, like,
it's tough to say. Like, no one knows anything about like their species or anything, where they're from, or.
I've seen new rumors floating around that they're from the other galaxy or from Peridia.
Well, I mean, is Star Killer Merrick? Like.
See, back in the day, like there was 3 more years until the next movie. So if you wanted to wonder, like, if Star Killer was Merrick, then you just had to like get your action figure and pretend that your Merrick was the Star Killer.
So at this point in the story, Maul is dead or cut in half by Obi-Wan, and
this is just after, just after.
Dooku is tasked with finishing off Yaddle, and then he'll become the apprentice, right?
In
Palpatine.
Yes. I'm not sure if he exactly knows all
Qui-Gon's
of this.
dead. Maul's cut in half. Dooku actually has a problem with him cutting him in half, and he even says, Palpatine even tells him at this point, well, there's even more that I'll ask of you before this is all through.
Yep.
And like right before this scene, it was either right before the scene with the tree, I think, or whatever, or during that scene, they imply that he didn't even go to Qui-Gon's funeral. He just stood there and stared at the tree instead.
Well, she thought that, well, they were about to go to Qui-Gon's funeral.
And he said he wasn't going or something like that.
And she followed him here where he had this meet up with Palpatine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so this is during Qui-Gon's funeral.
Yes. And then he drops the door on her and she raises it up. And then after she raises it up, she falls over with like no energy left. And Dooku very cold-bloodedly just cuts her straight down after that.
Oh, yeah, I guess she doesn't have a Yoda accent. That is weird.
I don't know, Apes. Submit your question. Maybe I'll answer it on an upcoming edition of Ask Steve. That Star Wars boy.
Backward, doesn't she speak?
Oh, look, he's a step ahead of me. Always, Ape. Always a step ahead. All right. What was after this? Is there
the final episode where Ahsoka gets trained to avoid Order 66.
Did we go through all three of the Dooku ones already?
This is the third
this
one.
is his turn, right? This is the big climax to the fucking Dooku arc where he's full Sith. Now,
yeah, this ends where he swears allegiance to become Palpatine's disciple.
You know, look, this show was good. I liked it a lot. But you know what it really needed? There was no fucking Ewoks, man.
Primordial forest world of Endor. The heroic Ewoks must battle the forces of evil to help a young Mandalorian foundling find his way home.
First said Ewoks.
Ewoks out through the Endor.
Did you like that, Mo?
I like Bruce Willis Mountain every time.
That's Mount Sorrow, the official crying mountain from Ewoks by Star Comics issue number 7.
It looks like he's played by Bruce Willis in the movie.
That's the live action. That's the live action version. The Secret Brother Sister. Maybe that might be why Baby Yoda's retarded and can't speak when he's 50 years old. You guys, I'd be embarrassed to tell you how much time I spent making that video, man. You didn't even watch it. All right, we'll play it again. I spent a long time making this. We might as well play it again.
Primordial forest world of Endor. The heroic Ewoks must battle the forces of evil to help a young Mandalorian foundling find his way home.
First said Ewoks.
Ewoks out through the Endor.
Well, I was watching a Mike Zero video earlier, and he did a breakdown of the new Ewoks 3 trailer, and there was some spoilers. So spoilers ahead, but according to my secret Hollywood insider Sparrow, the plot has leaked, and apparently Kelleran Beck makes an appearance. That was his dead body, I think, in the trailer. And they crash, and Baby Yoda. The Ewoks have to help Baby Yoda escape off of Endor, but the Inquisitors came to find him. So that's the rumor. We'll have to wait to see. But my Hollywood inside sources have been like 95% correct on everything before. Awesome. Thank you, Mo. I worked so hard all week on that video just to earn your forgiveness because I knew you were mad at me. All right, what the fuck? Where are we at on these?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was going to actually have anything else done because he was working on this video the whole time.
And the one for next week's even better. We're gonna like make a special feature every week or every other week or whatever. Hollywood Steve, yeah, it's me. All right, where are we at? You guys keep sidetracking me.
We're at episode 5.
Okay.
Titled "Practice Makes Perfect." This is.
We had a picture from this one. Let me find it.
We had one Ahsoka episode, and then 3 straight Dooku's, and now these final 2 are Ahsoka videos.
They're not as good, but there is one part.
They're not as good.
There is one part in one of them that I really, really liked.
Yeah, this episode 5 isn't much to it. Anakin is unimpressed by the training bots that Ahsoka easily defeats, and they have a little tiff, and Anakin sets up a clone test where Rex and the boys circle around her and put their weapons on stun and try to shoot her and her to hold it off. And she fails.
Find the freaking thing. Hold on a minute.
She fails over and over and over and over for years. And they actually time jump in this one to show her doing it later. And it just shows her will and determination to get better. How she survived Order 66.
There we go.
And at the very end of this episode, after all this training, they show her and Rex walking out for the season 7.
And yes, in season 7, they show her go through, Order 66 and fight off all these clones. And this episode is almost like a direct response to, like, she's a Mary Sue. How come she's the only one who could survive these clones? And they're like, well, here's why.
And it starts off with her training against the floating. What are those things called? Those balls.
They're droids. They're little battle droids.
I did not go to
Luke trains against in the Millennium Falcon when he's got
the remote. Yeah. There's a bunch of those too.
And then there's a force shield that's closing in on there, so it's tighter quarters, and they keep upping the stakes for her, and then cut forward years, and she's still practicing. And I mean, they're doing remember those big stun rings they fire at Leia? It's all using those giant stun ring blasts.
And even as they jump forward, they're like, "Oh, you lasted almost 5 minutes that time." And there was a line from Anakin in there, like she's like, "There's nothing on the battlefield that is good as Rex and the boys." And Anakin says, "Well, that's the point. I want you to be prepared for anything."
And they kept showing her like get shot and waking up. like scene after scene. They're just like she'd be fighting and it would go black. She'd open her eyes. He'd be like again, and then it'd do it again. Like
They just show, they show Anakin saying again, again, again.
KK Island is probably also full of youngling. It's how she avoids getting fired for gross incompetence.
But it's a neat little episode, just show entertaining and
Yes, Mo.
what Anakin put her through to be as good as she apparently is.
And this one's like what, only like 5 minutes long or something.
Yeah, this was a short one. This is a really short one.
The one I liked best with Ahsoka was
what, this next one?
The next one. Yeah, I'm trying to find my picture of it.
Episode 6, titled Resolve.
What did I do here? Okay. Basically, I've only got this one picture from it. Basically, the episode starts off with the very final scene, the funeral scene of Padme's final scene. Yeah, her funeral as it's in Naboo, and it's like a reconstructed animation version of that. And it pans out, and there you see Ahsoka's in the crowd. Bail makes eye contact with her, and then she disappears, and he tracks her down, and they have this secret conversation. And he gives her a tracking device. She's like, I don't want to, I don't want to fight. And he's like, we have to fight. Contact me. We can still help or something. He gives her like this thing, which sets her up later on to become Fulcrum, the first rebel agent in the rebellion, which we see later on in Rebels, where she's working with Bail. And they set up this whole thing. But the thing that like was one of the coolest things in this show is kind of emotional or whatever. Like, it was just a perfect line where he said, "Why are you here? You shouldn't be here." And Ahsoka says, "Because she was my friend." Like, she's come here to honor her friend because she died, just because she was her friend. And I thought that was pretty cool. That was like the best part of Ahsoka. And then later on, she has to go. Where is it? She has to go hide undercover.
Yeah, she goes to a distant planet and she's working a farm.
Where the fuck is that picture at?
She's working a farm with this family.
I'm looking for the picture. Keep it talking.
Oh, that's when she has no lightsabers and the fucking Inquisitor comes after her, right?
Yeah. Well, she's befriended by a girl, and the girl gets into an accident where Ahsoka saves her with the Force, and no one really notices but the girl. And the girl says, her brother notices too. And
the girl's all excited, like, "Oh, a Jedi's here to help us. We're so lucky."
Yeah, but she knows that she's
like,
not.
I'm not a Jedi.
She knows that she's not to say anything about it, or But her brother is a little more. Well, the Empire is here to help us, and so they go away. Ahsoka goes to sell these hay bales with this girl, and when they return, the Inquisitor's there, and he burns the entire city and house down.
I have a picture of that one too, I think.
And it turns out the brother has turned her in, but like didn't realize that the Empire was as evil as it was.
Where the hell is it? Oh my god. I'm like terrible.
And with the village burning to the ground, the brother is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And
here it is.
Yes.
Look at this Inquisitor. He's got like a bird skull head. I don't think he's Starkiller.
No, because Ahsoka takes him out like very easily.
Yeah, even without a lightsaber, he was a pussy. She was like,
yeah, she was like 2 side steps, take your lightsaber, slice you down. That was it. I'll see you, Ape. Hopefully you'll be better and back next week.
Yeah. Later, Abe.
Later. He says he's got to go because, okay, he's getting a Vader vacator next week, so we'll be back. All right. Oh shit! Yeah, I almost forgot about that. We're gonna debut our first episode of Droids. Shit. Let's finish this up though. What we're talking about, because we already played a bunch of videos not that long ago.
So she tells the brother is sorry. So the brother, the sister, and the father are sitting there, and she's like, "You got to run," and they're like, "Well, we don't have nowhere to go." So she calls Bale on this recorder that he gave her earlier, and it totally is the straight setup to her becoming Fulcrum.
Where the hell was that thing?
For the Rebels cartoon where she starts the fight. And Bale, and that's the end. That's the end of this episode. Oh, we lost Fowler.
Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong thing.
You kicked me.
I know it was an accident. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm like,
Fowler's not pulling his weight. It's like, well, fucking getting sleepy, man.
we don't have much more to talk about. This is the last episode of the series.
But overall, these are pretty good. Even the Ahsoka ones are decent. The Dooku ones are outstanding.
Yeah, the Dooku ones are like some of my favorite stuff.
And the Dooku ones were worth it just to see him fucking hide the location of Camino. Like, that's fucking just cool to me.
Yeah, okay, there it is. That's the fuck I was looking for. There it is. See, she comes back and there's Bale and she's got her thing. I wasn't quite worth the effort of looking for it that I put in, but there it is. So what do you guys, want to see if they do season 2? You want to see them like continue these?
I want to see them do
things or do other Jedi.
I want to see him do Bale, Balin, and Shin.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Since Rey's dead now, and they can't have him back, I would like to see an animated version of just anything with Shin's training, or maybe even Balin at the Academy days, or that's what I would want to see for sure.
And the way they've got this set up, it's like so far, it's Ahsoka and Duke. It's pretty much prequel era and right before the prequel era with all the prequel characters, at least in that era, But it's like just with that title, Tales of the Jedi. You know what I mean? They could do it. Could be about any any of the Jedi. Circus would be perfect to play Shin in the cartoon.
Circus is in Andor. He plays one of the prisoners. Good. He's fucking amazing.
He's good. Dude. He's one of the best actors in that show, which has the best acting of all of the Disney shows so far. Yeah. Really,
it's the most mature Star Wars I've ever watched. It's very good shit.
It's got plot. It's got actors. It's got dialogue.
Not just Circus is amazing in Andor. Stellan Skarsgård is fucking amazing in Andor too.
Oh, the Contact.
Yes.
Or whatever. That's got to meet them all secretly. Yeah, that old dude, the antique dealer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that shit is dope. With them starting the rebellion through the fucking rich people and the high art community on Coruscant or whatever. It's like, Andor's cool. If you like Star Wars, I'd say check out Andor.
Some of the look is a little too grungy and depressing, and they could throw in a couple more recognizable Star Wars droids in Aliens, but it's good overall. That's like my minor nitpick. Is sometimes like
Andor starts slow-mo, but like by the time they're at the prison camp and they're like, and then it reveals like after the rebellion in the prison, you find out what they're building at the prison. It's all really cool, man. Like, I liked Andor.
Andor's great, dude.
Who makes better 3D models, Corey? Disney Tales of the Jedi or my Ryloth Bikini contest? Which one has better 3D models?
Clone Wars is just an acquired taste. It's always looked like these stilted, stiff Pinocchio puppets.
And it started in 2008 too. So
And it's like either you just bit the bullet and got on board with it because it was like a whole lot of Star Wars happening, or you kind of just are like, that looks goofy and didn't, you know.
Yeah, if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, then the Clone Wars is where it's at because the story and not so much the animation. Which the animation does get better over time, but
well, you get used to it, I guess. And the lightsaber fights are really cool, so you kind of like let everything else slide, I guess. The way I look at it. The ship fights are good too. Like the actual spaceship fights in Clone Wars, like look really cool. So, I mean, I understand the Pinocchio faces and the stilted wooden stiffness of the character models, but
yeah, they progressively get better as it goes. In the backgrounds, in the the skies, the planets, the ships, the textures, the movements, but these characters pretty much remain as they look like they're puppets out of that Rudolph Christmas shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they're weird. Look like what's that fucking movie with the puppets from the South Park dudes?
Team America.
Team America. Yeah, like it when it first started, they almost looked like digital versions of some crazy thing like that or something, and it's evolved a little bit. But yeah, they could. I think a lot of it just has time, render speeds and their budget, and they like try to smooth everybody out just so they render quicker.
Yes, Corey Barton, it does look dumbed down kids show to you, but like there are some very adult arcs in the Clone Wars series. Like it gets dark in spots.
It's very misleading to have like some of the best stories and content in all of Star Wars in disguised.
I mean, Bad Batch
cartoon kind of, and like people, like Corey's saying, it looks dumbed down. It does. You look at it and you're like,
Bad Batch is in the same style, and I consider Bad Batch to have some of the best storytelling I've seen in anything.
Oh, that season 2 mid-season finale, the shit they did, dude.
When they're on that cable car
transport
movement.
I'm talking about the Emperor Palpatine episode.
Oh, when he lifts up out, and that was awesome.
That was so good, dude.
And I think Corey, I think it's just that they started this in 2008, and I think it's just become like stylized. So they're just doing it now because they. As a choice, where at the beginning, I think a lot of it was compromised. Like, what can we do? Let's make the best of what we can do, with our budget and our time constraints and our technology and whatever it is they've evolved. Like it's just that style. And the other thing, like I've been building a big collection of 3D assets. And the other thing is if you spent 8 years designing all of the models and all of the ships for all of these cartoons, your assets for anything you want to do. Oh, I want to use this character. Boom, just pull them out and you use it. And if you built your entire galaxy were to assets already in this style, do you want to just start all over and have to rebuild every single piece from scratch? So you can see why they at least tend to lean in the same. Like even Rebels is a simpler version, but it's still like in the same style where you could probably pull one of the models out and drop it in the other one, and with some slight texture touch ups and stuff or something.
Oh, welcome, Frequency
Girl.
Hey, Freak Girl.
Her and Neff got a couple things coming. They're working on Judex right now.
Judex, yeah, looks good.
On Indiegogo. Her and Michael Ogden are writing that. Plus they had Mavericks. I believe Mavericks 2 is in the process too.
Felix. Let's drop the link. Tom Dubois. Matthew Fowler represents this guy. And he is a killer artist. You should check out this Tom Dubois collection. He did all kinds of Konami stuff.
Contra, Castlevania, Ninja Turtles, Metal Gear.
The official.
All kinds of box art, McDonald's stuff. Oh, yeah, he did the Tiger Blue box art.
That's
all
dope.
kinds of stuff. Yeah, he's worked on everything from the Smucker's jam berries to all your favorite video games from when you were a kid. So this is the definitive collection of all his pop culture ads and box art, fully restored into high resolution and printed in brilliant bright color and clarity without any of the trade dress or old print dots of the old packaging and stuff. It's all fully restored.
Did he do Mac Tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that in your kitchen, the original. The graphics are the only thing they refuse to update for modern audiences. I know it. Like,
But I mean, what if it was more rendered? It'd look like what, that Final Fantasy fucking movie that came out, that like kind of realish. It's like you get to uncanny valley territory if they look too real. So I don't know.
I would
like it quenches the thirst for Star Wars when there's not really any Star Wars is the best way to put it, I guess. Like we know it. Like I realize it doesn't look good. Like it does. The look is jarring, I guess. But I can't really explain. You get used to it. When I first saw Batman the animated series, I was like, "What the fuck is this big square jaw looking weird fucking shit?" Right? But you eventually get used to it.
Once you're
and by the time you're
story enough, you just accept it.
Right. And by the time you're to Batman Beyond, you just like don't even question the style. You're just like, this is amazing storytelling. Like. You get used to it.
Oh yeah.
Some people don't like Dragon Ball when they first see it. They think that weird eyes and baby face people look weird, right? But if you watch it long enough, then you get into it. I mean, I speak that to you because you're as a Dragon Ball fan.
So that's how I understand these guys is prejudice. Like Mo not wanting to watch this because I'm still like Dragon Ball looks like some weeb shit to me. I still to this day have never watched it.
I was going to say some people never like Dragon Ball.
Oh man, I like that shit.
Don't time him out, Mo. He's on our panel.
Right, I get it that it looks like, but you had to acquire the taste for Dragon Ball before it looked better. Because I had seen Akira before I'd seen Dragon Ball, so I'd seen Akira at an age to where almost everything looked like dog shit to me. Like I hated everything I saw was not Akira. It was like, this is nowhere near as good as Akira. This sucked. Like anything that wasn't that hyper level of animation. And then my old age, I realized like, oh, nothing is animated like Akira. It's just, it's better than anything ever. So, it's all where you come into it. When I first saw Dragon Ball, it looked like weird. I thought it was a Chinese cartoon. I didn't even realize it was Japanese because it was so basic looking and janky, but I got used to it. And I mean, I love Dragon Ball. Fucking, it's just an acquired taste, man. Like I said, I hated Batman, the animated series when I first saw it. I thought it looked like dog shit. And it just grows on you.
Yeah, Batman the animated series is some of the best stuff ever, man.
We call these people non-retard. I get it. Oh, I did see that Final Fantasy movie like back in like 2000, 2001 or something.
Spirits Within or something. I think
it was weird. It like looked really realistic, but like really weird, like uncanny valley type stuff, whatever they call it. Yeah, I remember that. It was really like, that's when the discussion began. Everyone's like, are they going to replace the actors with CGI? And I was like looking at that like, probably not soon. Like,
no, but they said that at the time that movie dropped. They're like, actors are in trouble. Look at this new movie they can do with computers. Yeah, but it just did. It just looked fucking weird. Like it was. You felt unsettled. It was unsettling the whole time watching that shit.
Mo says you need to watch a few episodes of Dragon Ball before Stockholm Syndrome kicks in.
Yeah, I don't even know what Dragon Ball is. Is it Dragon Ball?
That's what happens when old men walk around without pants on. They'd be Dragon Ball. So where we at? You got an article we were going to talk about too, Crazy Matt, or what's up?
Yeah, Steve's got the article.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the article. Yeah, Corey. The thing is that these were made by Disney, but the first 6 seasons of Clone Wars were made by George Lucas.
I mean, the first episode of
own
Dragon Ball starts with a fat naked baby running around with his dick hanging out trying to catch a fish, man. Like you could be
You're not
seeing Dragon
selling
Ball
me
for
on
the
this.
first time and like extremely put off by it. Like, I mean, you have to understand that's like a lot of shit, bro. Like if you could just get used to these Pinocchio motherfuckers, there's a lot of Star Wars to be
Where
enjoyed.
did you send the article to the DMs? Okay, I remember you told me already.
Yeah, it's our personal DM.
Okay. And then where is
I put
I
it
mean,
in
those
there.
first couple years of Dragon Ball are
Get
rough.
buried.
Like fat little baby pigs going around trying to wish for hot panties to fall from the sky and shit. Like Dragon Ball starts pretty fucked up, bro.
that's an in joke, but
it doesn't even really get cool till Z, or maybe some of those tournaments, but those tournaments look all like hokey and they look all like rubbery and round the way they're animated the first few seasons. And people
Some
be
of
telling
us-
you like Krillin is cool. It's like, man, Krillin is fucking stupid. Like I don't know, man.
Some of
I
us
like
believe
Dragon
it
Ball,
never
but
gets
not
cool.
till Z, and mostly the Cell Saga is the shit that I like. The Cell Saga was visually cool. It looked dope. Like by the time you get to the Majin Buu shit, it's like fighting this big fat pink fucking baby thing. Like Dragon Ball is hit or miss, bro, when you really want to be real with that shit. It's like the Cell Saga was dope. A few of the OAVs were dope, but most of it's like weird, goofy shit, like silly
Wow.
Billy shit,
I can't see.
It ain't no Fist of the North Star. Let's just face it. Dragon Ball Z is not Fist of the North Star.
I don't know what either of those are.
Well, you need to open your back hole to the Weebury and let it enter you like a tentacle.
I'm all out on tentacle porn,
Bro,
man.
what anime was to us as kids is like live action graphic novels and live action cartoons of graphic novels. Like Ninja Scroll felt like a graphic novel, or Ghost in the Shell. It was the same. It just felt like live action comic books, but gritty. It wasn't. Weeb wasn't all. It was very westernized back in the day. It was action and blood and gore, all that weird gay fruity shit, and like fucking like waifus and weeboos and all that weird shit came like much later, dude. Like they sold it to us as like ultra violence, fucking dope shit, and then flipped it to that Sailor Moon for boys shit like way later. Like that gay shit came around like
I mean,
like late in the
given
game.
some anime a chance, but like I could just never get into it. Like I don't know, the whole Japanese culture thing just it's weird to me, I guess.
Is Star Blazers, is that anime?
Yeah. That's
Because
like
when I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I was really into Star Wars, and if I woke up early enough at like 6 a.m., I could watch Star Blazers.
right.
I used to watch that a lot.
That's
But,
anime, bro. The intro
was
to
like, I was only-
Silverhawks is anime. The intro to G.I. Joe is anime. Like there was a lot of anime around us as
Thundercats,
kids.
is that anime?
The intro to Thundercats is anime. Yeah.
The intro is pretty dope.
The intros were always doper than the show. Like they were always this higher level of animation and shit. All right, so what's this article about?
Well, apparently Matthew Vaughn, whoever the fuck that is, thinks that Star Wars should only be about the Skywalkers, with the characters recast.
Matthew Vaughn directed X-Men 3, the one.
Oh,
everybody
okay.
hates,
He's not
right?
okay. He's like a,
No, he did First Class.
First Class. Okay. Who? Oh,
He's
I'm
not
thinking
just
of Brian Ratner. Maybe I don't know. I forget all.
Ratner did 3. Brian Singer did.
Singer
1
did 1 and
2.
2.
Yeah.
Ratner did 3. Matthew Vaughn is the new Class guy.
Yeah.
Did he do Days Future Past too, or just the new Class shit, or
I'm not
multiple new Class ones?
I'm not sure who did Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, or
I like that one a little bit at parts,
the
and then
Dark
it
Phoenix
really
one.
sucked on some other parts. All of them newer ones like that. It's like mixed.
Days of Future
feelings.
Past was pretty dope, even though it didn't follow the storyline at all.
Okay, yeah, he's the First Class director.
First
Right.
Class is pretty okay.
Some of
Yeah,
those
I didn't
young
mind any of
mutants-
those other than the just like making Mystique a main character. I never really got that. part of it, but
Yeah, I
whatever.
didn't either.
Jennifer Lawrence became a super big star in the meantime, so I mean, I can understand how they had her on board before she blew up, and then like catering these movies around her success. But you know, she's always Mystique's always a villain to me, like not the leader of the X-Men. Like that shit's just weird. That felt like that girl power shit. Like that was when I started to feel that random girl power starting to like creep into shit or whatever, you know?
Yeah. I mean, then you can tell that Jennifer Lawrence totally hated being Mystique, and they kind of fell off after Days of Future Past. Apocalypse wasn't very good, and the Dark Phoenix one wasn't very good at all.
No, and Apocalypse looked so awful. Like his makeup and whatever, just like
Yeah, he looked like the villain from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
So what's Vaughn saying that he wants to direct a new Star Wars?
There's like mixed things in here. I remember reading it earlier. You want to just like read it out loud?
Yeah, read it out.
Remember, like these shows we used to all watch like 3-4 years ago. They used to do this every day, read articles. Matthew Vaughn is weighing in on the direction of the Star Wars film franchise. The X-Men first-class director said during the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast that he would only be interested in helming a Star Wars film if he could recast the core original characters, Luke, Han, and Darth Vader, for a new generation. For me, doing a Star Wars movie is to play with the characters I love. If they said to me they'd reboot Star Wars and actually have Luke Skywalker, Solo, and Vader and do your version of it, everyone would say you're an idiot to try, but that would excite me. Vaughn said, why are the Star Wars characters so hallowed that from 1977 you can't redo it for a new audience? Okay, right there, this already sounds scary as fuck to me. Like the whole attitude of why is Star Wars so hallowed that we can't redo it here at Disney because we've already demonstrated such competence in delivering a new version of Star Wars. Right, that final sentence, I'm saying, get fucked. Vaughn.
Reboot it, man.
Yeah,
I want
reboot.
I want Luke and Leia back. I want them to recast with the Winter Soldier for Luke. I want them to cast Millie Bobby from Stranger Things as Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia, and reboot that shit, man. Because
reboot it.
Yeah, because or
reboot it, erase the story.
Not reboot it. No, reboot, recast, right, and have them continue on post Return of the Jedi adventures.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm all for that. If they're gonna like do an actual Star Wars reboot, then it's gonna. I mean, like that Episode 7. That's their. It's gonna be worse than that. You know.
No, I say recast them and let them go on adventures after Jedi. It's better than CGI face Luke and the CGI face Leia that they used at the end of what was that, Rogue One or something that they had her in, looking all fucking weird.
That's the point. They're like I was saying a couple episodes ago about this topic, I believe, if I remember. They're not afraid to recast them as younger actors. Why are they afraid to recast them as older actors when they've already recast? You know, Han as a younger. That's what I'm saying. They'll go back and they'll make a younger version, and they have no problem of recasting it. But then that still gives you the same result: is you've got one version where the younger version is played by an older you know, there's two ages played by different people. Starting with Alec Guinness, and then you go back to Jake Lloyd and Hayden Christensen. And even Sebastian Shaw was in there at one point. So it's like, why are they so afraid to recast these characters?
Well, and why are they so afraid to tell Luke Skywalker fucking stories? Like that's what I
even in
watch.
a cartoon. I mean, like here's our new cartoon. It's the Bad Batch, or it's like, well,
yeah.
You know,
I want to know what the fuck.
Why is there a cartoon about Han and Luke flying around on the Millennium Falcon, fighting stormtroopers, trying to escape from Jabba the Hutt and Darth Vader? You know, like why isn't that a cartoon by this time in Star Wars history? It just seems like they're missing
Well, and I think after all these years, I realize I only really watch Star Wars in hopes of seeing some Luke Skywalker fully trained in the black Jedi robes from Return of the Jedi and on like business. Like that's what I want to see. The dude he became, when he freed all his homies and just him setting up his academy and doing shit. Like that's really the only thing I care about seeing. And all this other shit just feels like
And
letting everybody be Star Wars or making everybody feel good or like it's like give me Star Wars.
And they keep wanting to move on to other things, and the problem is they haven't delivered what we wanted. If they would come out in the sequels and gave us a decent sequel trilogy, and we were all happy with the resolution of the lives and stories of Luke and Han and Leia and Lando and Chewie and the Republic, and
it is a crime they didn't get.
And we
the
knew
reunion,
what was going on. We would probably be ready. We would probably be ready at that point. Like, okay, you answered all these questions we've had for years and years and years. Okay, now I'm ready to go on. You can show me a Mandalorian and all this, this new galaxy. I'm ready. But you haven't even delivered, anything to give us what we actually wanted. And you're like, you're skipping straight to dessert. You haven't even give us appetizers or anything. It's just.
I'm all for a recast, but I am definitely not down for a reboot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. Because they're so goddamn incompetent.
I'm with Maddie on this. Like, I want to see like the continuation of the Luke story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see it where Luke is a cuck who cuts himself off. He's the guy that under everything, like, decided that he wouldn't fight his father and had to hold out hope. And then you go turn around and show him like, oh, I had a dream that my nephew was a bad guy and I was going to cut him down in his sleep. That's not.
All right, so that part where Luke gets called to kill Kylo Ren in his sleep, right? And the Force is like kind of telling him to. That's why Palpatine killed fucking what the fuck is his master's name? Plagueis. That's why Palpatine killed Plagueis. They were celebrating and partying, and Plagueis was passed out drunk on the couch, and Palpatine went to leave his chambers, and then the Force told him, like, kill him right now in his sleep. Like, it is time. Like, it was like, so.
Yeah, but that's some Sith shit. That's not
right,
like...
but I mean, Luke's fucked with the dark side before, like when he was raging at the end of Jedi, and Palpatine was cackling about how strong the dark side was with him. Man, it's like that voice to kill that in the sleep, like that shit. Like that's in the Force, man. Like that's the same reason how Plagueis got taken out.
Yeah, but again, I
agree, man. That's my dream.
Sith stuff, and like Luke cast all that out and has showed eternal hope when not doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it's a fucked up moment. I'm just saying, like, hey, yo, that happened in one of the books too, though.
Oh yeah, but I don't count none of the books as like canon.
I think some of the new books count as canon, though, right?
Well, until they don't. Like, Disney is totally incompetent. I mean, it's the same story. Disney's utterly incompetent. So when they erased the original EU, it seemed kind of like a good idea because they had this entire, they want to make episodes 7, 8, and 9. You're not going to expect them to go sit here and have everybody working on this movie go read 45 freaking novels and 100 comic books and whatever just to get, everything right. But they didn't really take much of it at all into consideration. They just,
No, they had 3 different guys who wanted to do 3 different movies who didn't come together and have no plan whatsoever.
I forgot what I was talking about.
Like, it's obvious.
We were talking about wanting Luke adventures and how disappointing it was for him to throw the fucking lightsaber over the cliff and for his last fight to be like an illusion hologram shit. And,
it was okay.
God, thinking of fucking that Last Jedi movie still makes me
I
mad
know
to
it.
this day. Like years later, like that movie pissed me off in a way that like I can't even explain. Like, fuck those feminist motherfuckers for ruining my childhood with that subverted expectation shit. Like, I wanted to see old man Luke fucking kicking people's ass with his fucking lightsaber skills. Like that shit just pissed me the fuck off.
And they
Like,
totally blew it, dude. They didn't have a Luke, Leia, and Han scene. Like they split all of them up. They had
yeah.
Han meet Leia years later after they find out, oh, he's a bad father. He left his kid. Like it's just
It was such a letdown, a missed opportunity, and then by the time the third one rolled around, they were all dead or dead in the thing, and Carrie Fisher was dead in real life, and then they did the stupid shit of her flying through space. Like, I mean, it got fucking bad, man.
yeah, it's the sequel trilogy will like I see all these like sequel trilogy people like on Twitter all the time, and they're like, "Oh, this is such a good moment." No, no, it's not.
That movie sucks. All three of
Like
them.
all of them, they're terrible. Like I've seen them. I've seen.
No, I actually like Force Awakens. Like, I'm not gonna front.
Yeah.
It set up a lot of cool shit. I thought she was gonna be a mind wiped former student of Luke's, which explained all her training. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't set up for her to be a Mary Sue. Like, there was plenty of like meat on that bone for her to have been a trained Jedi that was mind wiped and shit. You know, like there was a lot to going on, or flashbacks when she touched the sword and shit. Like that didn't become whack until the next movie, which like retroactively made Force Awakens suck ass because none of the payoffs like paid off, you know, like, and then you know what I'm saying? Like if the dog shit hadn't happened in Last Jedi, then Force
I hated
Awakens
the opening scene. As soon as he froze the laser blast in midair.
Oh, I was
to hold a
how the
laser
Force
bolt
works.
with the Force, yeah.
That was gay, and from there I just sat there and I was just getting this sinking feeling. Then like maybe I'm just nitpicking it. Maybe I'm just a nerd or whatever, you know, like
And then they did the
cringe,
whole
and
Finn
then
Poe crash land where like Poe was
This-
dead and then he
this-
wasn't dead, and then
yeah, that was dumb. The scene where she first uses the Force on Daniel Craig, is it? Where he's the stormtrooper. That is
yeah.
That's when I'm just like I clocked out. Like that's like in the movie theater first time watching it. That's when I said, "Oh man, we need George Lucas. Where'd he go? This is fucking, this is wrong." And it just like kept going downhill from there. And I was like, "Oh, they're remaking Episode 4, but it's not as cool." Cool.
I clocked out when he threw the lightsaber over his shoulder. I was like, nope.
Oh, by then I was already walking into
Yep,
that.
I was on board to the lightsaber, man. Like I liked the first one. I didn't love it, but I liked it. And
I had a lot of problems
just
with The Force Awakens, but it's the best one of the three by far.
Definitely that. I was like, this isn't that great, but I was thinking, like, people were like, did you like the new Star Wars movie? And I was like, maybe. I don't like what's going to happen. Like, maybe I do. Like, I have to see the next one before I can even decide if I like this movie. And then I did, and it's like, no, I don't, because this movie is what I originally, my gut feeling told me. This movie is hollow, meaningless, regurgitated crap. And J.J. Abrams and K.K. Kennedy and Daisy Ridley and Poe Dameron and like these people don't even know who their characters are.
Man, I was the opposite. I was like, I was all into the who is Snoke, like what is Snoke, and what the fuck is Rey's past, and all
who
that.
is Rey's parents?
Yeah, man, I was into that shit.
Or like, I mean, I kind of was too, because I'm thinking, because I was so into, like, I wanted it to be good. And, you know, I mean, like, Force Awakens didn't ruin Star Wars. It just, in my opinion, was not a good movie. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's leading in.
Right, but killing Snoke off like in a joke with the lightsaber and this thing, like there was just a whole lot of fucking like shittiness in the second one, man. It's like,
and then the third one, like you killed off your main bad guy in the second one. You have no one, so they're like, oh, somehow
In the
Well, that
second
Knights
act,
of
he
Ren
returned.
shit never really paid off. Remember the Knights of Ren were supposed to be this cool thing? It's like it never really went anywhere. Fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
they never like told who they were or what that was, or it was just a big convoluted mess.
But at this point, the only thing that'll get me back in Star Wars, like in a regular basis, is like get Luke. I want to see Luke doing shit. So if that will take a recast, I would recast that shit. Then like it needs to be done. Just do it. Millie Bobby Brown looks like Carrie Fisher. That
You
Sebastian dude looks like Luke. Just go with that.
you could get me into it with stuff other than Luke. Like I would totally be down for some old Republic Revan stuff or some old Bane stuff, but
Right.
See, the problem is like these people. Okay, now Taiki Waititi says if he makes Star Wars, it needs to expand. It has to expand to where he's saying, I don't think that I'm going to use any of the Star Wars universe. Just make his own shit or whatever. And like the argument here is basically a stupid argument because they're not addressing the actual issue. Now, if you made stories about a different galaxy, a different alien species, a different character, a different era, any of this shit, you know what? None of it fucking matters. The first thing these people should be like, if that was good, if it was written good, cast good, any one of those fucking ideas would work. And like they're sitting here arguing about, should we do it like this or should we do it like that? And it doesn't matter because they're incompetent and they're going to fuck it up either way. They'll go this way, they'll fuck it up, or they'll go that way, they'll fuck it up.
what makes me the maddest is they had years and years and years of stories to go off of. They didn't even have to make like a direct, like, heir to
Yeah,
the
they didn't
Empire.
have to adapt it, but I mean, they should at least get the gist and give people, you know what I mean? Like Luke should have been a Jedi in charge of recreating a new Jedi order, whether it's the same or different or whatever. And Leia should have been like political leader, and Han should have been, a high-ranking military officer or possibly retired from that or whatever. They should have owned the fucking honors and prizes and rewards that they earned through,
And if they wanted to pass it off to a younger cast for future movies, they could have done that too with Jaina and Jason's story. Like that was a good story that they didn't even delve into. Instead, they made Ben Solo, which
Ben is dead.
why would they even name their kid Ben?
Yeah.
Like Leia and Han had almost no ties to Ben. And
That's what I'm saying. And like 3 years later, they realized that, and they're like, "Oh, our movie is stupid, so now we got to go make this Obi-Wan show and make this whole point that Obi-Wan rescued Leia and she does know him, just to justify this other decision from some shitty movie that takes place 30 years in this future that was made 3 years in the past." It's like, it's a fucking mess.
Yeah,
and they just fucking wait around and they do this shit to try to patch, and you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And then some nerd comes out and says, oh yeah, it does because of this over here. You didn't see that, and that makes it all make it's shit's stupid.
The rebellion was so
get impatient.
The rebellion was so weak that in 30 years the new empire overthrows it completely. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm. Like, what is the point of the entire? Yeah, this is great. Han and Leia aren't together. There's there's a new empire. Luke is no longer Jedi. There's a new Death Star.
Oh, speaking of Luke, did you guys see that fucking new show with Mark Hamill on it on fucking Netflix?
I saw that there was one, but I didn't see it.
I think it's called The Fall of Usher, or like the end of Usher. It's about this like
the fall of the House of Usher.
Right.
Yeah, I saw you guys talking
That's what it's called. It's about this rich family that makes a deal with Satan to outlive all their heirs or all their relatives or some shit. So it's like they're at the end of their life and everybody they ever loved is dying. Like their kids, kids, and whatever. And they're this corrupt family. But Mark Hamill plays like their media manager or whatever, the guy that like does all their blackmail shit or covers up all their fucking, like if they murder a hooker and drive her off a cliff, he covers it up for him or whatever. So he's really good at acting in this one, though. He's doing a character that's totally different than anything you've seen him. He's not doing Joker or cock knocker or any of that shit. He's like really like this mobbed up guy. It's cool to see him do something a little different.
I saw that he was in The Machine, Burt Kreischer movie.
And when did that come out? I mean, is that new or?
Yeah,
from
it's
a while
pretty
ago?
new. It's on Netflix now. And Mark Hamill plays Burt Kreischer's dad.
It's
And I
called
mean,
The Machine.
Yeah, if you've ever seen the Burt Kreischer stand up with his whole machine shtick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's based on years later after that happened, the Russian mob comes back and haunts him, and he goes on that whole thing. It's okay, but Mark Hamill plays Burt Kreischer's father that Burt hates, and it's like a father-son story.
Well, it's good to see him getting work, man. Hopefully, fucking they get him doing some voices on some of that facelift CGI shit and get some Return of the Jedi Luke and some of these fucking Mandalorian, Ahsoka, whatever shows next.
Admiral Wackass says it's called Burt Kreischer Tells a Fake Story.
Well, shit, guys, are we about to wrap it up? I'm about to go to bed, man.
I got one more thing.
Okay.
This is been years in the making, everybody. This is the first episode of season 1. It's going to be about 11 or 12 episodes. This is our masterpiece. Arrogant Ape as C-3PO, Crazy Matt and myself as supporting characters with cameos. With a few more episodes. We've got plans to bring some of the other guys into the show as well. And
Yeah, we've been working on this for like a year.
This is the droids premiere, right?
There it is. Episode 1. Droids, The Quest for Crack Cocaine. Episode 1, Escape from Mutabiko.
Quick softly through my crack ghetto.
I'll get it on.
My crack pipe in my hand. It's just his brain, addicted to cocaine. Got me running again, smoking again. I put my life in jeopardy. In my search for big crack rocks, I wouldn't care, but it's a dangerous affair. Running again, smoking again.
Intrepid geologist Space Jesus, on the trail of fortune, glory, and the everlasting high, searches the galaxy for new and powerful forms of crack cocaine.
I can't wait to get there. Home of the legendary Blue Rocks. Space Africa! Oh no, what's that? Space cops? Oh shit, I better stash this crack. Oh no, these canine droids are gonna smell all this coke for sure. There's no time to eject it. What do I do?
We got you now, Space Agent.
That's not my crack. I'm just holding it for a friend, really.
Now approaching Space Zambia, Mukobiko Penal Facility. You are cleared to land.
I'm way too pretty to go to jail.
Where you're headed. They don't call it a penal colony for nothing.
Whoa, R2, you're right. This is fucking wizard, man. Hey guys, come on in. You want a space bear? Whoa, check her out, R2. Oh, got more, fella. You the man, R2. Fuck yeah.
Who is this bitch? Who's playing my most feisty brother's second? I have a long list of chores.
Take me out.
What?
Take me out.
Oh, I can't possibly be bothered.
We're out of beer. You gotta go get some more, man.
Yes, that's a rather nice bath or two, but it's going to take a lot more convincing. I mean, between this room and the foyer with that whole flaming bag of rancor crap prank, that's going to take me at least 12 hours. It doesn't help that you bring this salacious crumb dumpster and her friends into the mix. You always leave this place a right mess. You clean this up? And who will prune my bomb for bonsai? And what about that weird strain of moncowpox in the Bacta tanks? Some British bimbo bypassed the compressor on the speeder and broke the damn thing. Who fucking does that? And all on Space Christmas? Or you'll all clean this up? And you promise not to party while I'm gone? Oh, R2, I'll leave right away. Well, getting this keg of Heineken Skywalker allows me some time to practice my grip walk. So right foot down, left foot out. Balancing the balls.
Hey, you! Droid!
What up, cuz?
Help! Help! Get me out of here.
What are you doing time for, friend?
They locked me up for crack possession. Oh, is that beer? Can I have a drink?
It's...
Can I? Please? I love beer.
It's a Hoth toddy, but...
Thanks. Now, can you throw the bottle in that recycling bin? Recycling is very important. We gotta protect the environment. If you can help me get out of here, you can join my search for the legendary blue crack rocks of Space Africa.
What rock of what, Ricka?
Gotta go down to the Space Court and pay my space bail.
Well, of course I trust him. He said his name was Space Jesus. I just have to transfer my duck coin to this new wallet address and convert it to Casuals and voila!
State the prisoner's name.
He said his name was Space Jesus.
Bail is set at 40,000 Casuals.
Thanks for bailing me out of jail, guys. Now let's go find that crack.
You're muted. Both of you are muted.
Oh yeah.
I had to laugh too loud at that crip walk. The previous crip walk. Is it what up, cud? Damn.
That's the best part. Ape writes a lot of that stuff. We mainly write our own lines for whatever characters we pick, and sometimes we give ideas to each other and stuff. We just make it up. And Ape comes up with some of the funniest shit. So does Crazy Mad too. He's a bigger part of it's the next episode where you come in and.
Yeah, I play El Chapo.
He's like Chopper, but he's Chapo. What's it? C1.
C1 L-C11 APO.
Something like that. Yeah, I forget. We haven't looked at it in a minute. But yeah, that's I guess our show for tonight, isn't it? We got anything else? Tell everybody have a good week.
Hopefully, Arrogant Ape will be back with us next week.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say without Ape, I was having to do all these pictures and stuff, and I apologize to the chat. I wasn't on it as good with your guys' comments and keeping track of all of you as I normally am, because when I had that picture up, when I was sharing on the screen, it covered up my chat on my screen, and I missed half of it. But I went back. I'm gonna go back and watch this show, and I'll make sure to read all you guys' chats, because I'm sure they're
hell,
awesome.
Perth.
I think I saw most of them. Oh, Perth just got here. Perth, hell, show's over.
Yeah, Finn and Perth show up at the end, man. What's up?
Hey, Finn.
We played some good videos. You might appreciate. Back through the whole show, there's like 3 of them or something, I think. But I guess
Ape is the best of us, and he's our lead.
Oh,
and
Fanatra's
without
here too.
him,
Now
we're
everyone's
lost.
showing up. We got more people here than we've had all night. We're about to end it. Start over. I guess we could. 4 more hours, guys.
Yeah, not me, man. I gotta take the kids to school in the morning, man. I'm about to get out of here.
All right, man. I guess I'm gonna roll my outro. And thank you everybody for showing up. If you just got here, go back and at least skim through. We got some funny videos that we made this week. And with that, I guess we will see you all next week. We put some new music on our outro here. The Mandalorian theme song kept getting copyright claims, so I decided to put this on here. It's kind of cooler anyway. Check it out.
Yeah, thanks for showing up, BK, Finn, Perth, Felix, Mo, D-Wag, Kiwi Skirt.
Thanks for the question, Kiwi.
Yeah.
Felix posting the links all the time. Trade King, thanks for showing up, guys.
Felix every week.
Yeah, the
With
link.
the links and the fucking, yeah. Hail Felix.
Admiral Wackass here all night.
Our criminal accomplice.
Frequency Girl, Neff, Eric was here earlier. Aldous was here earlier.
All this milk in your mouth.
Corey Martin. Sorry we couldn't show more Space Base.
We got some more coming up in the future. Everyone stay tuned. We got a lot of cool stuff we're working on.
Yeah, Ape in the chat. Peace out.